This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Say hello to our friends joining us now at WAAF, Boston's rock station, also 98.9, The Rock in Kansas City, and our friends at 98.3, The Keg in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Big show for you today. Your guess is as good as mine. Coming up, categories, jobs, and entertainers, as we have the top 10 hardest jobs, according to a new poll, and we have the highest earning celebrity entertainers as far as the money is concerned in the year that was 2017. Ask the men's room's coming up, and today we do a random question, 844-999-OLA. The good news is, if you were waiting to be a part of the show ever, we lost every call right there at the break.
Congratulations.
You can call back, and you can play the game as well. 844-999-OLA, random question.
You guys are talking about the golf course, and the two groups get into a fight. The one dude bites the other guy's thumb off.
Completely off.
I am not a golfer. I know that there is often, it seems, not always physical, but even when I hear you guys talk about the occasional weekend excursion, there is some kind of conflict. What is the thing that brings golfers to conflict? Like, what? There has to be like one.
Slow play is one.
So when I'm behind you, you guys aren't moving fast enough. First of all,
you just got to. No offense, but I think golfers have to admit, like, this isn't. The idea this is some relaxing thing you guys, the golfers, are doing is a lie. Because you
wouldn't play golf.
Right. You're either really into it and you got to talk about updating your score all the time, or, like Bob was about to say, people get fired up with the foursome in front of them or the one behind them.
And another thing, man, when you golf, you just got to be ready to it's going to take however much time it's going to take. You might want it to be over with quicker.
Sure.
You might have told your wife that you're going to come home at a reasonable hour, but with golf, it's just off the table.
Right.
I mean, it's like...
That's what I seem to sense with golf. Like, it is what it is.
You just got to kind of wait and whatever, yeah. I mean,
but there's always conflict.
You don't have a control over that. Or you hit into the group in front of you, they hit a ball at you, and they know they shouldn't have, and they've done it a couple times. Sometimes that starts fight. But, like, I was just thinking, okay, you lose your right thumb. Try to pull back your right thumb and pick up like a cup. It's like, it's hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you don't have...
You need them.
Can't do anything.
Like I said, the difference between us and the animals are like, hey, man, you have opposable thumbs.
I'm saying this
now you're missing one.
I'm saying he never swings a club again. I'm saying
not well. Not well,
no
man.
No way. I'm telling you, can't do it.
Random.
Hello. You can't even masturbate with that hand.
I'm thinking about that.
Technically, you need your thumb, right?
Yes, you do. It comes in hand. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you definitely
Yeah, you do.
You do, Ted.
I'd still give it a try.
I would always try.
Yeah.
But you need that thumb. Hello, Russell. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. I love you guys.
Oh, boy, that sounds creepy when you say it, but thank you.
Russell,
It was just emotional.
let's go with this one. What is something you've always pronounced wrong? Or something you pronounced wrong and figured it out later on?
Oh, my God. I get crap about all kinds of things I say wrong. I say kindergarten instead of kindergarten. I say kindergarten.
Kindergarten, all right.
Yeah, and I don't ever put the T on district, so I always go, I'm going to go down to the U district, and people always say district.
But does anyone really say U district? When I say the District of Columbia?
I don't know. And you guys are back east. Do people say yesterday different? Like, yeah, see, I saw I got yesterday. You know, I always said yesterday.
No, they do add the T. You get a T in there. I saw you yesterday.
Oh, yeah, yesterday.
But I want to thank you guys for just being original and funny and honest to your feelings and being good dudes, because
we cry a lot.
The show is my favorite thing in the afternoon and my crappy my thing home, and I look forward to it, man. And I've had the worst 3 years, and you guys right before that gave me a Frank Miller signed comic book, and man, that thing's worth like $500 now, man. You guys are the best. I love you guys.
Yeah, well, wait, do you still have it? Do you plan on selling this thing?
No. You guys, it was really meant a lot to me, because I mean I got to come in and meet you guys, and I think Thrill still had hair or something. I don't remember you being involved.
It's been that long, yeah. It was
a while ago, man. Yeah. You let me sing Megadeth on the air. This is what Seattle needs. If everybody just acted like this, like we just all just like we're nice and got along, I think.
I just want you to keep that in mind. Everybody,
that's a fact.
That's a guarantee. Well, thank you, man.
Mm-hmm, we appreciate that. Reason we asked, what did you...
I think they have hair. All right. You don't have to rub it in, man. It's fine. I get it.
But you did.
The hair years.
I know. But listen, but I always had the hat on, all right? So I walked around. I've taken my hat off.
You had that Rastafarian wig with the fake hair.
But he probably came in the one day, right?
I've known you longer than anybody in this room.
I've never had hair.
With hair.
I haven't had hair in a long time. I'm 49, and more of my life has not had hair than has.
I think the one thing that holds true, and you say it a lot, is the fact that if you're from the area, wherever you're from, you do not pronounce most of the things in that area correct.
It's just if you ask someone where they are from, for whatever reason, in spite of being from that place and repping that place and being proud of being from that place, you are least likely to pronounce it right. Right? My uncle has lived what I understand to be California for about the last 45, 50 years of his life. All right. He lives in the Berkeley, San Fran area. He teaches, well, I think he's retired now, but taught at Berkeley. That's where he's always been. This is a PhD freaking botanist. This man is very, very smart. He is not from Austria like Arnold Schwarzenegger, where we understand the difficulties of saying things. And if you say, where do you live? It's, I live right outside of San Francisco in California. And he ends
California.
And I cannot explain
California.
How much.
Rest
like, dude,
peace.
Nobody says that. It's not spelled like that. It doesn't. I mean, even Schwarzenegger, California. He didn't say California. No one says it. And there's enough songs to reference it. My father is from Houston. If you say, where are you from? It comes out somehow Houston.
Like it starts
There's
with
no H. It starts with a Y.
Wash is not wash. And anybody from Wash, they'll say, a lot of people say
Washington, D.C.
Maryland. They say
Merlin.
Balmer.
Merlin.
M-E-R-E.
That's not what it's called.
B-A-L-L-M-E-R-E, Balmer. And then there's Pittsburgh, P-I-C-K-S-burg.
And the only people that say that are the people
who live there.
The one thing that blew me away about Baltimore, this is the one that got me, all right? The name William. Now, William is a standard name. Black, white, hell, there's William Hung, all right? We're crossing everything. You can name anybody William, and it's all good. And in Baltimore, your name is not William. Your name, apparently, in spite of being spelled like William, is pronounced William.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, my name's
like
William.
Steakums.
But I'm like, damn, that's a weird name.
Yeah.
And then I saw his name, I'm like, oh, it's William. He's like, that's what I said, man. William.
Yeah, in D.C., the R's are real. Like I always say, I had a teacher named Miss Guerin, but we called her Miss Gurn.
Miss Gurn. Ern, too.
Right, Ern or Irk. Be like, who's Irk? Like Eric.
Like, Irk. Right.
What do I say that's weird? Wolf.
Well, right, there's an L. See, you're making the sound a dog wolf? Makes. That's not an animal.
Look, man, you're talking looks like a wolf. That wolf dog in here.
Ariana Grande dropped a bombshell over the weekend.
Bombshell.
Oh, man. She said her last name is actually pronounced Grandy.
Ew. That doesn't sound
rhymed with candy.
Ariana Grandy?
Grandy. Yeah, Ariana Grande.
But it's her and her brother's fault. The ethnic pronunciation is obviously Grande. But
yes, obviously, yes.
Well, that's what they say here. But Ariana's grandfather changed it to, quote, Americanize it. Grandy. And for decades, that's how her family pronounced it until she started getting famous. She said her brother changed the pronunciation back to the original because he thought it sounded cooler, and she then followed suit. So it's Grandy.
I feel like you're in Minnesota. Yeah, guess who's coming to town for a show?
Grandy. It's going to be
Ariana Grande.
I don't know if that's going to work.
She's super duper. She's super duper.
I hate when players do. Listen, if you're an athlete, you're a professional athlete, you've made whatever team you're on. Man, can you just be upfront at the moment you get to the team and tell us how to say your goddamn name?
What was the guy's name, man, that we almost thought was a joke?
From the Ravens years ago?
No, he's in the NFL right now. His name is
No, not DeBrickashaw. We were talking about him last week, Ted.
Oh, my God, it's unbelievable. It's almost like Keenan Peele just made his name up. And
right.
I can't remember
Wasn't it like Carmelio something or something like that?
Oh, goddamn, we're all in the office going like this. You have to be a football player if you name your kid.
That's got to be a joke.
Random.
Oh, my. Hello, Conrad. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
All right. This is gonna be a hard question, man. Or maybe not.
You think you sound smart enough to answer it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What, in all honesty, what made you feel great? Like you were like, I feel great.
That's an easy one. Having a kid.
Really? You felt great?
Yeah.
You feel tired?
Pretty good.
How about now?
Now it's not so much.
Right. See, there's a difference, man. No, honestly. And kids, the moment you are born, there's nothing like that.
Oh, man, that's special.
And then you get an attitude and all this, and you're like, God damn it.
How old's your child?
I got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, 2 little boys.
Okay, and do they get along? I guess they're
about 3 years, 3 years apart, so they get along pretty well, but big brother's starting to kind of pound on little ones, so.
Okay. Well, he's probably getting tired of him constantly being bothered and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, funny how that works.
Okay, yeah,
greatest moment of my life.
Kids are very exciting. There,
they're always exciting. It's just not always beneficial.
It's like a new car, and then the next thing you know, it's got 25,000 miles on it.
Cheerios stuck in it. Right.
Somebody's put a dent in it at the damn grocery store. I feel like it's not near.
Yeah, but you can just trade out a new car.
Definitely needs to be detailed at this point.
You can just do that. Like if your buddy has a different car, like, oh man, what kind of car is that? And you could go to the store and do that. And sometimes I see people's kids like, hey man, you want to trade? Like your kid seems so nice.
The reason we asked what made you feel great. An Arizona teenager, lucky to be alive after he was struck by lightning while walking through a park last week. 13-year-old Josiah Weidman and his friend Javier Tapia were walking home when some thunder showers rolled into Phoenix and it started to rain. A massive bolt of lightning struck Josiah, launching him into the air and stopping his heart. Javier was also struck, but he was not seriously injured. It just started raining, so I was going home, he said. Then randomly, I felt this burst of heat. Then everything went dark.
I feel like if you name your kid Josiah, some big biblical sounding name, like, I feel like they're just going to get struck by lightning, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am Josiah. Pow!
A neighbor who witnessed the teen getting struck rushed over. He started to perform CPR, which saved his life. Paramedics arrived, rushed Josiah to the hospital, where he remained in a coma for 3 days.
Damn.
When he woke up, he had very little memory of what happened. He said he remembers jumping back on a skateboard and going back home. He thought he was home and asleep for 2 hours when it was 3 days. Damn. Just 2 days after waking up, he was released from the hospital and walked out under his own power. Dang, I survived it, he said.
Dang.
I was dead for like 15 minutes. Dang, I beat death.
Dang.
I feel like Superman right now. I feel great. That's what he said.
Josiah.
I bet you do feel great when you're not dead and you've been in a coma for 3 days. Good times.
Dang.
Random question. More of your calls coming up. 844-999-OLA. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the Men's Room.
Your guess is as good as mine. Coming up, the categories will be the hardest jobs and entertainers that make a whole lot of money. Your guess is as good as mine.
Random.
Emails and our random question. 844-999-OLA.
Before we went to break there, man, we were racking our brains trying to remember the name of the football player, whose name we'd heard before, but it came up last week, and we're trying to remember what it was. So everyone gave us suggestions because we said to us it's a ridiculous sounding name. So I'm not sure if you guys have heard of this guy. His name sounds like you're describing horse poop. That would be Equanimus St. Brown.
No,
not him. That's not what we're talking about. Other people suggest. A lot of people believed it was this particular player. We're all familiar with him. It sounds like a joke that Monica Lewinsky would say, but Clinton Dix.
Yeah, we've heard of him.
He's not the guy.
No, he's not.
The name, and thank you, that person out there who got it right. This was the name because to us, it sounds like something you would say to insult someone of a different ethnicity. All right? If I walked up to you, and you've never even heard this before, you know you'd be insulted if I said, hey, I don't like your kind around here, you Bartavius Mingo.
That's Bartavius.
Oh, Bartavius Mingo.
Bartavius Mingo.
Yes, because it sounds like something you say to someone who you hate. Hey, you ugly Bartavius Mingo, get your ass over here.
Did he call you a Bartavius Mingo?
Like, dude, if I'm you.
I just think it just sounds like an animal.
A Bartavius Mingo.
Like a mingo.
Bartavius Mingo.
Like a
right?
dingo?
Yeah, like it rhymes with dingo.
A mingo ate my baby. Yes, Bartavius Mingo.
And he's like a defensive back or something, right?
He's a badass.
Yeah, he's great, of course.
It's just but like if you name your kid Bartavius, I think just by default they play in the NFL, right? That's like the one place you can have a ridiculous name.
You're not playing hockey.
Right. Absolutely not.
We'll figure that out.
All right. Hello. Hello, Andy. Welcome to the Men's Room.
What's up, buddy?
Hola.
All right, Andy, we got
How are my guys doing today?
Oh, we're doing good, man. Let's see here.
Hell yeah. Enjoying all this haze?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Purple.
Take deep breaths of it. That's where it's at.
Trying to just smoke as much of this weed as possible. Let's go with this random question. What do you think is your most embarrassing injury? The one that was just embarrassing when it happened?
Oof. I mean, all right. Dropped in a mini ramp when I was learning how to skateboard back in the day. Thought I was going to nail it. Then I ended up folding my foot from toe to heel. And, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, walked home. That was a horrible idea.
That was better
don't do that. If you hurt your foot, get a ride. Just saying.
That's better than opening or trying to cut an avocado.
Avocado hand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I sliced my hand on an avocado once, and it wasn't cutting it. It was when I went to take the seed out. I always whack the seed with my knife and pull it out like that because I missed it. Yeah.
See, I think that's more embarrassing than dive bobbing down into a hole. Like,
why? Because everybody does it. Everybody, the bagels, the avocados. Because in spite of what we're told, let's face it, if there's no kids looking and there's no significant, you're going to cut it the way that you tell everyone not to.
But the problem is, avocado hand I was not aware of until recently. And now I'm so worried about it that I'm like very careful when I slice up the avocado.
Well, you should be.
It's like a bagel.
Should be,
I hadn't cut myself before.
You hadn't, but
you
still.
might have. Yeah, if you hadn't slowed down there.
It's like anything. Once you learn how much danger you're actually in, you treat this thing you've done all the time different.
Yeah, or you just stop doing stuff. Like I used to always jump off this cliff. I realized it's dumb.
Yeah. Well, the reason we asked what is your most embarrassing injury, there was a Backstreet Boys show that happened in Oklahoma, and it had to be canceled after more than a dozen people were hospitalized. They were supposed to play an outdoor venue at the Coliseum at WinStar World Casino and Resort, but staff started to clear people out due to heavy rain and 80-mile-an-hour winds.
Jeez.
So about 150 people decided not to leave, which was obviously a big mistake. The wind pushed over a large metal structure, injuring at least 14 people. The Backstreet Boys issued a statement saying, "We never want to put our fans in harm's way, and with tonight's weather and the injuries from earlier, we have decided to cancel the show, and we'll attempt to reschedule. The most important thing is for everyone to get home safely, and we'll see you all very soon." That's from the Backstreet Boys, but some people decided to stay.
Why didn't you go?
And thinking that they
I don't know why they stayed.
The 98 Degrees was also playing.
I also don't find that embarrassing.
Oh,
I would go to that concert.
Okay.
It's not that. It's the, hey, man, didn't they ask you to leave? Yeah, and the winds were 80 miles an hour. They sure were. And then that metal thing blew over, and you realize in that moment, maybe that's why they asked you to leave.
And generally, like when I went to a game in Knoxville, Tennessee, there was a massive thunderstorm. The benches are all just that old standard aluminum. Yeah. And they did not mince words. They were like, get out of the stadium, get into the concourse. Like, you're in trouble.
Right. You are.
Like,
you might die.
Thunderstorm.
Yeah. This is not funny. This is not a drill.
By the way, we've been corrected. It's Barkevius, Mingo.
Barkevius?
Barkevius with a K.
Barkevius. Not Bart.
Still sounds like an insult.
We just call him Mr. Mingo.
I'll call him Mr. Mingo.
Also sounds like something weird, like a bad cop from the South would say. Where you going so fast, Mr. Mingo?
Hello, Jess. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, Jess. Let's see here. This is, okay. Let's just go with this one. When did no one show up? When did no one show up? Boy, I read a story the other day. It was gut-wrenching. It was a little kid, 5-year-old kid's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. Nobody showed up. I know, that pissed me off.
But don't you know that your kid's not popular?
When you're not little, though, how can you be that unpopular?
And not only that, you invited.
But he was.
You invited the whole class, and not one kid showed up.
I mean, listen, I get that it's gut wrenching and all the rest.
That's terrible.
But how did that kid not know that? Nobody.
Well,
nobody likes it. Not a person in your classroom likes you. And the story sucks, but like, he had to have some idea before this.
I don't know.
I would think.
But he's a child.
I know he's a child, but he's with other children. And other children, they all communicate. Look, man, when my kids were real little, I had no idea what my daughter had said to me. She's like 2.5, he's 1. No idea what the hell she said, but he did. And they went off and did something. Like, they communicate in ways that they get each other. Like, even at 4 or 5, I know if another 4 or 5-year-old likes me, right?
The good news is the Chuck E. Cheese employees, they got a pool together, and they got some presents and stuff, and like the week later, they decided to throw a party for him, so he got some stuff.
I mean, you're right. I think at that age you would know, but also I know as a parent, if I was a parent, Jesus Christ, people would just be like, still invite him. It's a wild weekend, bro.
Jinx yourself.
I know.
Right? Like, I forgot something.
Waiting for that test.
I would just think you would tell him, like, don't worry, people will show up to your party.
The big rat,
you would.
Right? The big rat, you can eat all this pizza because no one else is going to have it.
As a parent, I would absolutely tell my kid that because I assume somebody likes you.
You can have 2 pieces of cake because you've got a whole sheet cake here and no one's going to eat it.
How long do you wait before Before you just have to break the news.
Oh, that's
right. You start the party at 1, no one shows up to give to like 1:30.
I come up with an excuse. There was a major accident on the interstate coming into the Chuck E. Cheese. Even though you see people walking in, the people where we're coming from couldn't get there.
Yeah, something.
I still contend, too, even if nobody liked the kid, like, it's Chuck E. Cheese. Like, as a child, that's something you have to go to.
That's the reason to go.
Yeah. Right? Like, I'm an adult, but there's certain places, I'll be honest, if you invite me to certain bars, even if I don't like people, I will go meet you there.
Just our diatribe giving you enough time to come up with an answer on your own?
Yeah, actually, and I don't, to my defense, I don't think it's because I don't have any friends, but my 21st birthday was on a weekday, and at the time I was dating a guy who was slightly younger than me, like a few months, so I think maybe like 2 people showed up, and it was a work night, so I think that's probably my best answer
there.
there.
You have 2 friends.
Are you saying based on the fact that your boyfriend was underage, you didn't go to a bar?
No, I did, but he really wasn't happy about it, so I didn't stay out as long as I had wanted to, and I invited a decent amount of people, but, you know, again, being a work night. And,
Yeah. Right. Do you think maybe they didn't want to show up because your boyfriend kind of sucked? I mean, it just sounds like...
I'm sure that was a huge factor, actually.
Right. If it's your 21st birthday, and look, I've celebrated more 21st birthdays before I was 21. I mean, for sure.
Does this guy deserve, for sure, to be thrown under the bus?
Did you hear his problem?
No, honestly, like, at the end of the day, like, that was so long ago now, it doesn't bother me anymore.
Okay, all right.
You only have one 21st birthday.
That's right, yeah.
I know,
but normally they're the worst. You're like,
No, the next day. You shouldn't remember it. You just know you felt like crap and it was done.
Right. The reason we asked, when did no one show up, which is sad. And that story about that kid was sad. There is a movie out there called The Billionaire Boys Club. Mm-hmm. And it made $126 on its opening day on Friday. So it made
Billionaire Boys.
This is a movie. It made $126. An average price of $10 a ticket. That means that they're estimating that 12 people went to see the movie. Billionaire Boys Club was not a draw. There were several reasons for that. They say, for starters, it was actually unleashed on VOD, video on demand, last month. So if anyone really wanted to see it, I guess they could have seen it.
I guess no one really wanted to see it.
It also only got picked up by 8 theaters. It has a score of 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. There's also the fact that it has an actor who's been accused of sexually assaulting teenagers, Kevin Spacey, even though he gets murdered in the movie. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the movie made another $162 on Saturday. Yes, folks. I think they said it was in line to make $425 for the whole weekend, but I think they got into the 600s, did they not?
I believe, but is that global or is that? Sure. I mean, honestly, it was like $628.
Yeah, I believe that was the actual.
How many people do they for $628 based on the average price of a movie ticket? What is that? 50 people maybe saw the movie?
But everybody who's in the movie or worked in the movie, they saw it.
See, well, right, and so their family.
That's at least, you've got family and friends.
They're the only people that saw it.
Yeah.
But there's only 8 theaters. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, if you say starring Kevin Spacey, like that's...
Well, there's a reason. There's a reason, because if you say, hey, my band's going to play, and you say, okay, when do you want to play? They say Friday night. You say, you sure you can draw people in here? And they say, yeah, man, we'll pack that place. People love us. And then you book them, and then no one shows up, and they suck. I think that's when management goes, we're not booking that band anymore. So I think movie people think the same way. The theater manager said, that's not a good investment for us.
But there's still 8 clubs that said, hey,
this movie into our theater.
We know that the lead singer of your band may or may not be a child molester, but the working theory is that he is.
Like, look,
we're going to book you anyway, and then we're shocked that people don't want to give you their money.
If somebody who was like a Jennifer Gardner was in it, right? Uh-huh. And she grows up in, Charleston, West Virginia. They'll do the movie there.
Sure.
So people will show up. That'll be like one of the 8 theaters that gets a play because she's from there, so her parents can go see it.
Who else is in that movie? I'm curious.
I don't know.
Because the reason is, it's just this. Look, Kevin Spacey did what Kevin Spacey did, but if I'm a co-star of him, you know what I mean? Like, hey, man.
He's also in the movie.
I just lost out on making some money because you suck as a human being.
Right.
What did Theo Huxtable, whatever his name is in real life, what did he say when all this Bill Cosby stuff went down? He's like, listen. You can hate Bill Cosby. Please do not boycott
Malcolm Jamal
Warner. And he was very clear. Just said, man, I don't want you to bag on the Cosby Show itself because the show itself is still a good show. And frankly, I still get checks from that.
Thank you.
And I don't want, but at least he was open about it.
Yeah.
I would think that the co-stars of Kevin Spacey, like, hey, man, we filmed this movie before I knew any of this stuff. Don't throw me under the bus because he sucks.
He didn't go away.
Who, Kevin Spacey?
And everybody else just said, you know what? I need to go away. So most of the other people just went away.
He went away, but
Kevin
the people
Spacey
still
went away.
released the movie.
The problem is, this movie was if it's released now, it was probably already
it was already
almost
done
or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
there's other actors in it.
All right, who else do we have? Who got screwed as a result of this deal?
Emma Roberts.
Okay, right. That's a serious actress.
I don't know some of these other names.
Okay, Emma Roberts. Then
yeah. Judd Nelson.
Oh, no.
Oh, how
you're
come
messing with Judd Nelson's career.
He doesn't make money.
Judd,
you have to help him.
He doesn't even have a phone because no one calls him.
Right. Mm-hmm. Like, seriously, someone just knocked down his door and said, Judd, you want to do this movie? He's like, all right, you got to hook up Judd Nelson.
He unzipped his tin and said, yes, of course I do.
Random.
He was out hiking, probably. He had no idea they were going to call him.
Random.
And said yes. I mean, if you don't know who Judd Nelson is, that's our point.
We just lost everybody on the line again for a random question.
Now, look, Judd Nelson.
844-999-OLABA. Okay.
Well, think about it, man. Like, it was Molly Ringwald, Rob Lowe, Tom Cruise was huge at the time when and he was part of that, man. He was part of
Emilio Estevez.
Emilio Estevez
Charlie
disappeared
Sheen
and did things behind the camera. Charlie Sheen, we know what he did, but he still made a lot of money. Molly Ringwald, I want to say, does Broadway. And then there's Judd Nelson. And every time Judd Nelson kind of shows up in something you're watching, you begin to question your own taste in what you're watching. Not because there's anything wrong with him. You just feel that if you're watching something where they offer them a paycheck to be in it, you're like, what am I watching? Like,
he was good in New Jack City.
Dude, listen, there's nothing wrong with the guy.
He's had his time.
There's nothing wrong with his head. But somehow, when you see him, it's like Ian Ziering, all right? In Sharknado, it makes sense. Like, that's where Judd Nelson should be. It should be stuff like Sharknado. We talk about Ian Ziering because he came back with Sharknado with Tara Reid and other luminaries, but we understood why they were in that movie. So if you saw Judd Nelson in that, you're fine. If you're watching something that's not ridiculous or tongue-in-cheek and Judd Nelson shows up, you're like, why am I watching this?
Who's the creepy guy who hasn't worn well? The guy who was on television for a while. He used to do like B-rated, like porn-type movies back in the 80s.
On TV?
But he was also in that genre of, he was blonde back in the day. Now he's like a TV star.
James Spader.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
No, he does well.
No, he does do well.
He's on like one of the top-rated shows.
Yeah,
he was.
Right.
And he's still creepy. He's always creepy. He was in The Office before. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Robert Downey Jr. fell apart for a while. He comes back, does Ally McBeal. Now he's freaking Iron Man.
It's funny you talk about Tom Cruise. I was just explaining to somebody this weekend. He was a bartender. Somehow the movie Cocktail came up.
I bet you brought it up.
What a great movie.
I bet you brought it up. Because you always bring it up.
Like Coughlin's Law or some crap.
No, you know what it is? I'll tell you. We were talking about damn Fridays. So if you've ever seen Cocktail, like
you
when
brought
he goes,
this up, though,
when
right?
he goes to school, right? The whole idea that the corner pub could be on every corner is Fridays.
Yeah.
And they filmed it in the original Fridays. So I was kind of defending Fridays at this point, and then I said, "You're a bartender. You should watch the movie." And I said, "How old are you?" And he said, 23. And I said, man, it is going to look so dated and terrible that you're a bartender. And he goes, like, other people have told me. I go, okay. But
I like how you say
it's going to look cheesy.
Somehow Cocktail came up. And all I can think is, you were there. That's why Cocktail came up.
Just trying to defend Fridays.
I know, man.
What
I'm
they
just
did
saying.
there.
You're a Cocktail. I wouldn't say apologist, but
I am. I like old school Tom Cruise.
Yes, you do. Hello, Ken. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. All right, Ken, let's do this one here. A little survey says, what is your favorite type of music from the genre perspective? You like pop? You like country? You like classical, blues, bluegrass?
There's a reason why I listen on 99.9. It's got to be the rock and roll.
You love the rock and roll. What's your second? What's your second choice?
It's got to be loud. It's got to be fast. So metal. Otherwise, I guess maybe
you can
rap after that. But
listen to me having sex. You want it loud and fast? Yeah, mama. Yeah. Okay. We done. I'm gonna roll up and go to sleep now.
Yeah, the older I get, the more I listen to all kinds of different crap.
I still can't quite get country into my realm, but otherwise, you're right, man. The older I get, the more I can appreciate. Appreciate does not mean I like or want to hear, but I'm more forgiving in my comments about what I'm listening to.
Okay, so according to a new study, this is what they did.
I think that's probably the best way to put it.
This is from TD
Ameritrade.
TD Ameritrade. You can now predict how much money someone makes by their favorite type of music. Any idea of the genre of music that makes the most average money per year?
I would say classical.
Classical is absolutely.
It's got to be.
Classical music fans make an average of $114,000 a year. Guess what is next? This makes complete sense.
Country.
Pop.
It's electronic.
Why do you think it makes sense? Not distracting if you're
millionaires?
Yeah, I think it makes sense based on just the type of crowd that shows up, what they're doing, what's going on there.
Okay.
Rap and hip hop at number 3, $69,000 a year. 80s and 90s lovers, 69 grand.
Nice.
Yeah, quite intentional.
Yes. 80s and 90s at $67,000. Hard rock comes in at number 5, followed by pop. And the worst of the list as far as how much money you make based on the type of music you like goes to country.
Ooh.
Yeah, makes sense, though.
Yeah, most of the songs are just about riverbanks.
Dogs and trucks.
Things that you can like without, having money.
We just had some marshmallows.
Right? Cheap beer in a riverbank don't cost much.
Graham crackers. Hershey bar. Random question, 844-999. Hold on, more your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up, we will drink and toast with the shot of the day. The return of Ask the Men's Room. Also coming up in the meantime, it is our random question, 844-999. Hola.
Random.
Hello,
random,
Derek. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Random.
Hola.
Hola, bichola.
All right there, Derek. What do we got for you here on a random question? Let's go with this one. How did someone else's pee or poop end up on you?
Oh, gosh. Well, I have 2 daughters, and, I remember one time this present you left me was so bad that I had to tie a sweatshirt around my face and try to do a little cleanup. In the process of the cleanup, she kind of let loose on me.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes that happens. You get the new diaper on,
but loose.
You get the onesie on, and they're not done.
Nope.
Oh, no, not at all. And she gave no warning, which was very rude.
Yeah, they're just taking a break for a second.
Yeah, I was off mustard for about 2 or 3 years during those years.
Well, stone ground for sure. Like,
no, I like just the French's yellow.
Dude, it looks like stone ground mustard. And, I mean, it's not, but it looks like stone ground mustard. And then when you look at stone ground mustard, it just looks like a pile of ass.
Great to poop on.
Yeah. Do you have any great poop on? You know what, though? If your answer to that question involves your own children, to me, that is the only
you can
acceptable.
It's
the only... maybe if you're taking care of elderly patients or something, but man, other than your kids, there's no good time for that.
Reason we asked, how did someone else's pee or poop end up on you? This is a crazy story. 24-year-old flying from Chicago to Tokyo. He's on Nippon Airways. The victim is a 50-year-old Japanese man. He said that he had no previous contact with the American, didn't know him from anywhere. He is believed to have been sitting how far behind the guy? How far is he behind? How many rows?
I read this. I put it this way: when I read the headline, I assumed this guy was sitting next to him.
Oh, the P guy?
Yeah.
You already
2 rows. 2 rows.
2 rows. Do you think he peed over the top?
Yes. Yeah. He missed the other guy. Not a drop on him. I'm assuming when you bitch, if you got
yes,
even if it was just a small. Trinkle.
Just a dabble, do you?
Then you qualify to gotten peed
you
on.
You peed
too.
on me,
I'm
right?
Suing. You know what I mean? Like with this guy, right? Sure. Police say the American had consumed at least 5 glasses of champagne.
Oh, the bubbly.
Before the incident occurred. We all know that when you're going direct from Chicago to Tokyo, what do you think that is?
I read 13 hours, 7 minutes.
All right.
Dang. It's a long time on a plane.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, they that's it. That's all we've got. They don't have any comment. That's basically
what else do you need to know?
That's all the news they have. A guy is sitting 2 rows behind him. Now, how does this happen? How does he do this? Does he just aim over his shoulder?
Or does he? I think he just arced it over the seat in front of him.
He's behind the guy he peed on, right?
Yeah.
So he's in front of the guy he peed on, I think. The guy who he peed on was 2 rows.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no, hold on. He's believed him to say 2 rows behind the suspect. Okay, so he's peeing forward then.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, because I was like, if he's peeing over his shoulder.
Yeah. So he peed over the guy in front of him. This is my guess.
All right.
You just pee over the back of the headrest, right? Miss the guy in front of you, but not hit the top of the plane. And that's kind of a small gap.
Okay.
To be fair. And then as it arcs its downward trajectory, it just so happens
you think that
it's the guy.
All that effort, you could just get up and go pee.
That's what I think most people would do in that circuit. Like, I've been peed on a plane, and it was my kid, so it was more acceptable, but it still wasn't awesome. All right. And this was directly on my lap where he had been sitting until I felt the heat of his urine. Mm-hmm. And I was pissed. But at least it's him. I can't imagine if I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is that hitting my shoulder? And you realize that unmistakable arc of pee is coming from 2 seats behind me because some drunk guy broke his seal.
I bet
that's what it is.
I mean, like
he's just that drunk.
But I mean, I've been drunk.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody consciously ever pees in their own closet. Like, you're just that drunk. Like, he completely forgot where he was, whipped it out, and just started going.
At the time when you do that, you're like, I'm peeing in my closet.
Right.
Like, and you kind of know, but the next morning you go, oh, God, I peed in the closet.
Yeah.
But at the time, it's perfectly normal. I remember
it just makes sense.
When I was peeing on the corner of my bed, man, and my wife was screaming at me, what are you doing? And I wasn't even drinking. You're peeing on the corner of the bed. I was like,
yeah, sure I am.
Where do you want me to pee? That's where I pee.
That's where I pee. Warm up.
Come on.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.